Rockstars, do you want to play a game? It's PODConfessions, and it's also Easter week, and so I put together a little Easter egg hunt. Only instead of finding candy, we're going to find Etsy listing mistakes. These are mistakes I see every single week in Etsy shops. Tiny little things that affect your conversion, your sales, and your visibility. And today, I want to see how many you can find. I'm about to show you a mocked up image of an Etsy listing, including the mock-up, variations, and the listing title. When it pops up, pause the video and see how many mistakes you can find. Try to find at least 3, but keep in mind there may be many more than that. Pause here and see how many you can find. Alright, so I'm about to reveal the listing mistakes that I intentionally included. So if you haven't put in the comments what your listed mistakes are, make sure you do that now before I tell you the answer. Alright, let's break it down. These are the Easter egg mistakes that I included in this listing. Let me know down in the comments how many you found or how many you didn't even realize were mistakes. Alright, let's go through the mistakes that I intentionally included in this listing. And let's start with the mock-up photo. The first thing you might notice is how dark the mock-up image is. This is something I see pretty frequently, as sellers don't 100% consider the lighting of their photos. It might look good on your phone, but it's always good to check on another device or in another viewing mode, such as landscape versus portrait, and see if the color and the brightness stays consistent between the different platforms. The next mistake that I also included was how the design mock-up was not done well. In this instance, it looks like this image of the chicken is simply laid on top of the image of the mug. Rather, the image of the chicken should be incorporated into the mug and make it look like it's part of the mug as if it was printed on it. This can easily be achieved if the vibrance was turned down just a little bit and the transparency was toned down just slightly to give it a little bit of the mug's texture to come through. The next thing were the badges on the mock-up listing. Most of the time when I see the top bestsellers on Etsy, they don't have these badges because this is information that is included in their listing description. Your main mock-up image should have the central focus of the product, not the additional extra features that should be included in the description. If anything, you can always include an infographic on another slide, but keep the main thumbnail all about the product. The next mistake that I included was in the title. Let's read the title. Funny, sarcastic, cute chicken coffee mug, adorable mystery chicken, coworker gift, office decor, animal cup, trendy present. Now, some of these are phrases that a customer may use when searching. For example, coworker gift, office decor, maybe animal cup, maybe cute chicken coffee mug or chicken coffee mug. However, it's highly unlikely that anyone is going to be searching for adorable mystery chicken or trendy present. So always keep in mind that the phrases in your titles should be something that the customer is going to search for, not something that you came up with to fill in the extra characters. Another note is that the actual product type is way down here in the title. If you watched the last PODConfessions video, we discussed how important it is to have this product type at the very beginning of your title, because on mobile, Etsy cuts off the title after so many characters, which means buyers may only see this section here and never actually see the product type of what they're looking at. The next mistake included in the listing title, and this is something I see in descriptions and tags as well, is misspellings. For example, sarcastic is misspelled, and so is present. It is very important to ensure that your words are spelled correctly in your titles, your tags, and your listings, because I can guarantee nobody is searching for a present by missing the second E, and nobody is searching for sarcastic by including an additional S. The next and final listing mistake that I included was in the variations tab. If you see here in the variations, there are many different types. There's 11-ounce yellow, 11-ounce orange, purple. There's so many different color options. And for the sake of space, there's 23 more variations included in this listing. Now, while having multiple different types of styles is important, having too many choices can overwhelm a buyer and lead to decision paralysis. And when you want to make your sale quick, when you want your customer to understand what your product is instantly, on that first few seconds that you make an impression with them, you don't want them to have to scroll through and try to read through all of these to figure out which one they like the most. Give them the best options and then maybe a couple other additional options if it's something that's applicable to the design. That's all for this week's POD Confessions video. Have a wonderful Easter and make sure to stay tuned for another video coming up in a couple weeks.